Hi, this is Stephanie Miller from The Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from my show on Political Voices Network. Joe tweets, every cable host saying Pecker is never getting old. Is it me? No, no.
No.
Me too. It's just Pecker joke, fart joke. Chris, this timeline was made for us.
I am living for listening to Wolf Blitzer say the word Pecker over and over.
Pecker's back. Oh, Pecker again. It's more Pecker today.
Pecker, I hardly know her.
Not as just since Jack Cafferty's rants, because he's been this uncomfortable.
Oh, no. I gotta say Pecker again.
Oh, by the way, Jody. Jody's trying to, steal my joy while you were gone, Chris. This was because this is who sent it to me, Steve in Chicago. Steph, thank you for reading my email about Dick Rivers on the Pecker Connection, which should be a band name if it isn't already. The story appears in at least two places. See the screenshots below of George Conway's assistant Jen on Threads and Lawfare managing editor Tyler McBrien on X, Twitter, whatever. George Conway said, Pecker says he knows Trump since the late 1980s.
I know.
Did you see today in the courtroom? Can you point him out? Trump smiles in recognition. Pecker met Trump at Mar-a-Lago on the invitation of Dick Rivers through a client of Pecker's.
She had so much fun with that yesterday.
She's like, I don't think that's real. I'm like, yes, it is. Yes, it is. He met Pecker through Dick Rivers.
Even if it's not real, you're going to report it as
yes.
real.
She did.
Listen, Chris, that chyron under Nicole Wallace that said Trump afraid of Pecker leaking was not real. So,
no. Did you say it was real?
No, she did.
No.
She was accurate.
Okay.
No.
That was just bad Photoshop.
okay. Beavis and Butthead cannot stop laughing. Steve in Chicago. Thank you, Steve, for giving me my joy that Jody Hamilton then tries to thieve away.
I tried.
Yeah. She was a buzzkill blocker in your absence. Dick Rivers is real.
Oh.
Dick Rivers is real. So there.
Okay, I believe that.
Pecker, Dick Rivers. Dick Rivers, Pecker.
Did Pecker leak to Dick Rivers?
Oh, God.
Okay. If Trump is as incontinent as Noel Castler says, then he knows Dick Rivers for sure. Gotta change the front and the back of the diaper.
Great.
Can I just say the Supreme Court? Can I say that? Can we just abort the court? Oh my God. Okay. I thought it was me, but all over the threads and the Twitters. The Real Horse tweets, hi, Supreme Court isn't an actual court. It's 6 paid operatives pretending to consider arguments while overturning laws for money. Hope that clears up what happened today. Oh, speaking of Noel Castler. He's talked about this before. Hypothetically speaking, if before he was POTUS, he had his executives get into a rental helicopter that crashed in the New Jersey Pine Barrens after being summoned to New York City while they were cooperating with a money laundering investigation into his casinos, would he have immunity? Just asking for
A friend? A country?
Can you imagine if everything ever comes out about Donald Trump? Oh my God. And Joe Walsh, our friend who's going to join us next week, says, remember, he's not demanding absolute immunity to protect the office of the presidency or for the good of the nation or for anything like that. He's demanding absolute immunity to commit crimes. And last one, Rick Stengel, the point is not how this case will affect future presidents. The point is that the defendant is a unique threat to the republic right now, and that's the urgency. Only if he is unpunished will we see his like again. He has just broken this country. This will break the presidency. And how? And you don't even need to be a lawyer to go. How is that a private? They're trying to go. Oh, is this a private act or an official act?
There
really?
was a lot of splitting hairs yesterday.
There was.
I mean, how is overturning the government of the United States or stealing classified secrets private?
Official. How is
Right,
that
an official act.
Yeah.
But God bless Justice Jackson and Sotomayor and Kagan. You're just, because you hear them and you think, like, how does this even become partisan? This whole, any moron would go, no, a president can't order someone to assassinate his rivals and have them, like, what? I mean, we've made it, what,
34.
Carry the 35 years.
Yeah.
Without presidents needing, even Nixon He was a crook and he didn't ask for this. That's why he had to get pardoned, as someone pointed out yesterday. Because yes, presidents aren't immune to committing crimes.
And his attorney said, it would depend on the context of whether that was illegal or what. No,
well, I love the attorney. Yeah, at one point she's like, that sounds bad. Well, yeah, that sounds bad. Yeah, it sounds bad.
It's never illegal to call out a hit on somebody.
I know.
Ever.
I know. And you were correct on Twitter or Threads that you did need to give him a lozenge. He was wrong, and also his voice was annoying.
Hard to listen
He's got
to.
the thing.
Spasmodic dysphonia?
I think so.
I don't think so. No, he didn't. He wasn't halting in his voice.
True. It wasn't
I thought you were
going
to say foolishness. That.
Well, that
I'm
too.
sorry. The other thing too.
And Kavanaugh said that pardoning Nixon, everybody agrees that was a good idea now.
What? No, they don't.
No, 15, and he says it right there.
Oh God! Can you please? I'd like to hear Judgy rapey McPerjury.
President Ford's pardon, very controversial in the moment.
Yes.
Hugely unpopular, probably why he lost in '76.
Yes.
Now looked upon as one of the better decisions in presidential history, I think, by most people.
No.
Not really.
If he's thinking about, well, if I grant this pardon to Richard Nixon, could I be investigated myself for obstruction of justice on the theory that I'm interfering with the investigation of Richard Nixon?
An argument can be made that it was a good decision to bring the country together, but it's not one of the best decisions a president has ever made.
The worst.
No.
That's
Jill Wine-Banks.
Ellie Mistal. I thought Ellie Mistal.
Oh my God, his hair was going to get bigger and bigger.
And like 3 more Link from Mod Squad.
Yeah.
Afros were going to appear on top of his original one because. So he quoted Kavanaugh just saying that, and he said, "What? Who thinks the Ford's pardon of Nixon was a good idea? When did I die and go to hell?"
I just want Jill Wine-Banks to call in and go, bad idea.
No.
It quieted the country down
For a minute.
Well, we wouldn't be you could argue we wouldn't be here today.
It was a bad idea, but I think it might have been maybe the right idea at that
It started that stupid idea that, for the good of the country. How is it good for the country to let a crook get away with it?
It turned the temperature in the country down.
Please, you're party of law and order. Suck my... Okay. Pardon me.
You wanted me back.
I'm working blue and wearing blue today because... Okay. Yes, I'm going to need some Sotomayor to soothe my shattered soul.
If the president decides that his rival is a corrupt person and he orders the military or orders someone to assassinate him, is that within his official acts for which he can get immunity?
It would depend on the hypothetical, but we can see that could well be an official act.
He could, and why? Because he's doing it for personal reasons. He's not doing it like President Obama is alleged to have done it, to protect the country from a terrorist. He's doing it for personal gain.
Yeah.
This is what I mean about, is this partisan?
It shouldn't be.
This just seems... our legal animus. It has gone completely bat insane. And I guess the answer would be yes. Okay, Black Knight, our friend, just recapping. Can we take stock of what an insane 24-hour stretch we're in? Trump's lawyers want presidential immunity for coups and assassinations in the middle of a trial where Pecker is explaining how they rigged 2016 for Trump, as the New York Times is polling a National Enquirer and slanting their stories against Biden. I guess because they're in a huff that he won't do an interview, and so they're deliberately doing stories about his age. Thanks for the fascism, New York Times.
Yep.
As Trump's co-conspirators in Arizona were indicted for overturning the election, as Trump lost his bid for a new trial in the E. Jean Carroll case where he lost $80 million. Crazy. Yes, if it's you, it's particularly crazy stretch in a particularly crazy time in our... yes. Oh, Theo Chin on Threads, must be a Stephanie Miller listener, says, we are truly living in the stupidest timeline when the guy who refuses to admit he lost an election has the highest court in the land trying to decide whether or not he should be free to commit any crime he wants. Absolutely infuriating.
Yep.
So if you thought you were alone in your reaction to the Supreme Court yesterday, first of all, like Andrew Weinstein said, they've already botched this by taking it
So long to do it,
and
too.
giving him the delay, and then they may even send it back for to the lower
Remand, yeah.
courts for some issues, and they're doing this, doing exactly what he wants.
Remand? Is that
Yes,
Yes,
it's a word.
remand.
Remanding it back
People
down to the
felt that
lower
it was
court.
because you weren't here that I did not pronounce adjudicated correctly.
You did not pronounce it correct yesterday.
Well,
You said
grammar
adjudicated.
Nazi's back, so
You said
you
adjudicated.
didn't pronounce it correctly last week either.
adjudicated.
She said adjudicated, I
That's
believe.
not it.
Well, I am agitated about the adjudications.
Adjudications.
I
I'm
believe that was with the
agitated.
Trevor Noah interview. She said adjudicated as a rapist.
You said that to Trevor Noah?
I was nervous. We don't get huge names all the time.
What is wrong with you?
By the way, Glenn Kirshner just sent me a picture of him and Robert De Niro.
I know. Again, the two of them. They're like
Yes,
buds.
he did Glenn's event, and he said he was talking to him about me and the Sexy Liberal and what he's doing this weekend. I was like, bring Bob along to New York Sexy Liberal.
He
Bring
could
him
be
along.
your guest.
Bring him along. Bring him.
He could be your +1.
Panel with Glenn.
Right.
Okay.
His +1. Glenn's +1 on
Glenn's
panel.
+1.
You are invited to Stephanie Miller's Sexy Liberal Save the World Tour. It's the political comedy event of the year, and it's coming to a city near you. Join Stephanie Miller, the queen of progressive talk radio, along with Hal Sparks, John Fugelsang, and the comedy duo Frangela, mocking all the fascists and trolls for a tour that is hilarious, inspiring, and deeply offensive to just the right people. It's an all-new tour with all new guests and a side-splitting evening of stand-up. Stephanie Miller's Sexy Liberal Save the World Tour.